You smell that?
Nature's most powerful aphrodisiac.
Leaving right after this drink. Rock and roll, whiskey, and other stories. With your host, Brian Shaw.
Cheers. And welcome to episode 6 of I'm Leaving Right After This Drink. Rock and roll, whiskey, and other stories. My friends, it is good to be back. It's been a few weeks. We're in the new place, and I couldn't be more excited. And let's just jump right into tonight's episode because it did just happen a few months ago. And I'd like to get this one out of the way before I forget a lot of the good shit that happened during this particular night. But full disclosure here, before I get into this, I need to let everyone know that this genre of music completely passed me by. Never really got into it, was never my thing. And I was invited and I had really no idea what I was going to witness. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking down. Let's go see a killer rock show at a small little bar in Tampa. I was definitely fucking in. So again, no disrespect to any of the bands. These guys can do it. These women can do it. It was a great show overall. And if I could do it again, I totally would. So let me just start out by saying that the Orpheum, awesome bar to see a show at. Great sound, cool little stage, and just got an awesome vibe to it. So totally worth going to see a show there. So we get to this show a little bit early. We get there right before the doors open. We get a nice seat at the bar once we get in. So I was happy. At that point, I'm like, dude, this is going to be fucking awesome. I'm set. I'm sitting right by the bar. I get to have myself some Jack and Cokes and enjoy some music that I have no idea what the fuck I'm about to witness. But as I'm kind of watching people come in, I'm starting to realize that the only two people so far that I have seen walk into this bar that does not have jet black hair is myself and my friend. Everyone else has jet black hair. Mohawks, short, long. It was crazy. All walks of life. And yet I felt like it was almost like Hot Topic from like 1993, but now everybody's grown up. And we never outgrew Hot Topic. And I know you're thinking, look, dude, you're a fucking Allman Brothers Skinner reject. Yeah, I get it. But still, it is what it is. So the first band, I'm not even really sure who that was, but I believe that was a local act here from Tampa. And she came out, she performed by herself, which anyone who can get out and perform by themselves, whether you're playing a guitar, you're singing, whatever you're doing, playing the piano, whatever it is, man, that is awesome. And kudos to you for being able to do that because once again, that is something that I could never do in being up on stage with everybody just staring at you and you alone. And so she comes out and it's again like this kind of like this industrial style of music, and she's got like a drum machine and some other stuff going that's making her, music for her as she's singing over it. And she could sing, no doubt about it. But the outfit, I couldn't get over the outfit because she had this tight leather top, tight leather skirt, boots, like leather boots, the whole thing. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like I was kind of just taken aback by the outfit itself because I'm like, this looks like some crazy fucking sex club shit that I'm about to see. Not that I've been in any sex clubs. I'm just saying. That's what it looked like. I've been to Pornhub. Anyhow, so what I'm saying is the outfit was crazy. And I'm like, as she's singing the music and doing her thing, I'm like, what am I about to witness tonight? Holy shit. It was just crazy. And I'm still like focused on her, watching the show. Me and my friend kind of talking about her as she's doing it. And I'm like, dude, good for her, man. She's fucking killing it. And in front of, 7,500 people as, the show begins. So she gets done. She's off the stage. I'm like, wow, pretty impressive. Again, to be able to get up there and do it by yourself, good for her. The second act is where I got lost. And the second act, going into the third act, which was my life with the Thrill Kill Kult, I will tell you, that's why I have a guitar on my lap tonight. Because in my opinion, if you don't have a guitar, you don't have a fucking band. You don't have a rock band, that's for sure. And even some of the industrial style of music. How do you have that kind of music without a fucking guitar? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Marilyn Manson, Ministry, Rammstein. You could name off, 100 other bands that have guitarists that have that sound. Not these guys. So this band, I believe, was, like I had mentioned, called Adult. Never heard of them. No clue who they are. Would I ever see them again? Absolutely not. So it's a girl and a guy. The guy comes out on stage. He's standing there. He's standing behind like his drum machine and, his keyboards and whatever. And every now and then you just hear him kind of go, boom, and just hit the drum. And then play a little bit of the keyboard or something. Like, I don't know, making these very weird, fucking crazy sounds. But as the show begins, the woman walks out and she puts a piece of packing tape on one side of the stage. And she walks over to the other side of the stage. And I thought, what the hell? Like, what is she about to do? Is she looking like to know where the edge of the stage is so she doesn't fall off? Is she about to do some crazy antics on stage and needs to know where the edge is? No, that is not what the fuck she was doing. She was literally taking her hands after she secured that tape and just rubbing her hands down the tape with the microphone. And it was just like, I'm like, what is this? This is not talent. This is not anything. This is fucking noise. And it was really goddamn annoying. So guess what? Another Jack and Coke, please. And certainly I had a number. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And this kind of just goes on. She starts singing, then she's kind of, I don't want to say screaming, but very intense, man. Very intense. And the whole time I'm looking at the dude's got like this leather jacket on. He's got this fucking short, dark hair. He kind of looks like Andrew Dice Clay from back in the day. And I'm like, is he going to bust out and do a dirty poem at some point? Like, I don't really know what's going on. But it was, again, entertaining to say the least. And at one point, she comes walking through the crowd. She jumps on stage in front of us. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm about to get called out for being like, what the fuck is this? And she is going to town, man. She is singing. She's intense. She's looking at us. She's looking at the guys next to us. The people all gather around the bar. These guys next to us at the bar were like, fuck yeah, man. Wow. They were fucking into it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, all right. You do your thing. Which, again, was totally okay. And I thought for sure at some point she was probably going to yell at probably me, because I was just like, what in the world am I fucking doing? And even at one point, by this time in the show, I was like, what am I doing here? But quite honestly, I was having a good time. I was with a good friend, and I was, a couple of Jack and Cokes in. I was good. I was feeling no pain at that point, I'm sure, and just enjoying myself. And just, again, starting to people watch and look around as she's yelling at me or us in the crowd. She finally gets done. She jumps down, goes back to the stage. I think maybe does one more song. Maybe that was the last song. I'm not really sure. But as I begin to look around, I'm like, holy shit, now the place is getting really crowded because My Life with the Thrill Kill Kult is about to come on. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm just looking, man, just total people watching. I'm looking at people and they're all looking like they're fucking super tall. And I'm like, I'm not that short. I mean, I know I'm not like 6'2" or anything, but I'm like, why do I look and feel so short in here? And of course, as I look around, I'm like, holy shit, like everybody's got these fucking Doc Marten boots on. They got fucking mohawks. There's short hair. There's everything fucking crazy going on. And I've never really understood this genre of like women walking into the salon and going, give me the worst haircut you can possibly give me. Because there was definitely some of that too, and I don't understand. And again, I know, trust me, a guy who doesn't get a haircut very often, I get it. And at one point I looked across the bar and I'm like, holy shit, that guy looks like Marilyn Manson. But he's like 6'4", super tight black tights on, of like a one-piece like outfit, jumpsuit kind of thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, is that even a dude? I definitely know it's not Marilyn Manson, even though he looks like Marilyn Manson. What the hell is going on? I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, man, there's not even really any attractive women in here other than my friend, who I'm not just saying that because I was with her. And I think, the bartender, she looked pretty good too. And I'm like, what the? It was just absolutely insane. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, wow, you know what this fucking crowd looks like? This crowd, as I had mentioned earlier in this podcast, that looked like Hot Topic people who just grew up still wearing the Hot Topic stuff. It was also like if Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, and Al Jorgensen fucked, had a kid, and then those kids multiplied by like 300, and that was what was in this venue, minus me and my friend, who I think, again, were one of the few people that did not have jet black hair or dark hair. So now that I've kind of established the crowd, the headliner comes on. My Life with the Thrill Kill Kult. Never known this band. I've heard of this band. I've never known their music. I've never listened to their music. I've never heard it. But again, my friend's like, hey, let's go to the show. I like them. I want to check them out. I just don't want to go by myself. I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. So these guys come out, and as I'm standing there, it takes me about 3 or 4 songs to realize there's no fucking guitar. Again, no guitar. How do you have a fucking rock band without a guitar? I don't know, but these guys have managed to pull it off. I'm assuming it's the keyboard player, and he's doing everything, all the guitar sounds and shit through the keyboard. They have a drummer, bass player. The bassist, I have to tell you, from my vantage point, looked very disinterested in being on stage that night. It's like, what the hell, man? She just did not look happy. Didn't even look like she was really enjoying herself. So that was a little trippy to me too, because I'm kind of like, man, you're playing in front of a good fucking crowd. You should be happy and enjoying yourself, right? And then the singer, little guy, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, I couldn't get out of my head that he looked like what would have been the son of the biker in the Village People. Like, it was so fucking wild. I just couldn't get these thoughts out of my head all night. It was fucking weird. And maybe I'm weird. And again, no disrespect to anybody, man. These bands fucking killed it. And again, if I could do it all over again, I would absolutely do it because it was fucking great people watching. It was a great night of fun. Even though I didn't know one goddamn song, didn't know one thing about any of these bands, but I had a great fucking time. And yet, at one point during the Thrill Kill Kult's set, I just decided to start texting friends. Like, what am I doing? And people are texting me, and I'm answering them like, oh, I'm at this show, and man, it's fucking weird, and whatever. And I'm sure people were looking at me like, how is this dude just sitting at the fucking bar not enjoying the show? Even though I was enjoying the show, and I was enjoying the fucking people watching that was going along with it. And I'm sure that I was probably a meme somewhere on somebody's fucking website the next day. Like, look at this fucking Allman Brothers Skinner fucking reject at the show last night, just on his phone the whole time. Who fucking knows? But again, if I could do it all over, I absolutely would do it again because it was entertaining as can be. And finally, the band ends their set. And I'm like, oh, it's over. And I know my friend's going to watch this and go, God, you're such a dick. Like, if you didn't want to go, you shouldn't have gone. But I did want to go, and it was fun. And then the band comes back out, and I'm like, oh, geez, the encore. How many songs are they going to do in the encore? And I think they did 2 or 3. And again, it was fun. The crowd knew the songs. The crowd's fucking singing along. And I'm just being me, chilling out of the bar, ordering fucking Jack and Cokes, and having a good little time to myself. But I will say this one more time. Without a guitar, you're not a fucking rock band. So we finally leave the show, and me and my friend are talking out in the parking lot, and she's like, so what did you think? And I said, well, I'm going to be honest. Definitely not my cup of tea. I enjoyed myself. I'm glad I came out. No offense to you or anyone who likes this music. It just totally over my head, man. Just totally over my head. I didn't get it, but I had a good fucking time. And I did tell her, it will be an episode of a podcast. So don't hate me when it's over. It's all in good fun. And again, I had a great time at the show. These guys, all 3 of these bands, did their thing, and they got to do what they're doing for a living. They get to go out and do that shit every night and make money while most of us go into an office and sit behind a computer or dig a ditch or whatever that may be. So more power to all of these bands for getting out and fucking doing their thing every night on the road. I know it is definitely not an easy task. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a great night. Cheers. Thanks for listening. Keep sharing the podcast. I appreciate it. You guys are kicking ass. And until next time, cheers.
Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. You dig?
God bless the internet.